Hello there, Internet, and welcome to Saturday Nights. Thank you for joining us here on this not quite Saturday night, where we are currently at least. We're going to be getting buckling down for some D&D 5e here in a second. If you didn't get a chance to see our setup for this, we did a session 0 last Saturday. Should be up on YouTube. If you missed it, you'll probably be able to catch on pretty quick. We're beginning the campaign. There's not a ton of stuff that I think you would have missed other than just some introductions to the characters. I'll probably go around and have you guys just describe your character stuff, because I don't think we did that last week very much. So we'll do that. So you won't be too far behind, but I highly recommend listening to it. We kind of played around with the Fate system, used it for some character building, and had a lot of fun. This week though, we're back into D&D, returning to the world of Sarthia, where you might have seen us play Survivors Complex about a year ago. And we've got a whole new group of adventurers looking to make their mark on this world. I'm thinking of anything else. We're starting at 5th level. That's about it. We're also playing around with some custom, and there's a lot of homebrew rules that we've kind of brought in. Some things that we've already had, lingering injuries, things like that you might have seen in previous games. We've added a few other things that you might not have seen before. If you have any questions about those, let us know in the chat. I think that's about it. As far as announcements and things going on over the next week, not a lot. Most of I think we don't have anything on Monday, and we're not doing anything on Thursday this year as far as our regular scheduled programming for this week. Anything that I run or that Savannah's involved in will not be going on this week because we are in the process of moving. But we'll surely have some video game streams and some other stuff to keep you occupied until we return. And our next session of this game will likely not be until the 4th of May. So anyway, otherwise you keep an eye on our Twitter and Twitch and everything else, and Discord for announcements and everything else. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Any questions from my players or anything before I go ahead and read us in and we get started on this journey? Nope? Okay. So, 3 days travel south from Glanbala. You come upon a small hamlet of Glasnock. The village sits near the edge of the Siar Ahmad, the West Timber. The towering cold-hued pines seem to threaten consuming the modest huts at a moment's notice. Like most Ishfornan common folk, the people of the town are quiet, dour, and distrusting in their glances towards you as you trudge down the central avenue. Most of the buildings along the road seem to be simple homes, little more than hovels. Ahead, where the street bends east towards the forest, sits a simple inn. Above the door hangs a wooden board with the image of a beehive burned onto its surface. Before you enter the warmth of the inn, the flapping of parchment catches your attention. A bulletin board stands to the left of the entrance, partially broken and leaning against the wall. One fresh piece of parchment is tacked to the board, threatening to tear off in a gust of wind. You make out simple wording in the growing dark. Bounty, White Troll, 500 gold pieces, collect from MacDwyer. So the visual I want to get is the four of you stepping into the Honeybee Inn, where you're currently at, and I want to get the visual of what each of you looks like and describing your characters. So let's start with who I think would probably be the first one to walk in, would be Chad.
Yes. I'm going to do this in my voice because I'm still not sure what his character voice is going to be. So Chad is a youngish tiefling. He's in his very early 20s. Red skin, black hair, kind of shaggy, full yellow eyes, so not even like yellow pupils, it's just all yellow. His horns go kind of they curve out a little bit and then kind of mostly go straight up. They go back just a little bit, mostly going off this picture I found off Pinterest. And then he's got, his tail is coming out through the back as tails do. Yeah, and he's wearing, what is he wearing? He's got chainmail on. At this point, he probably would have not gotten rid of, but is not quite wearing his fine clothes. Has adopted more sensible traveling garments. But yes, is probably dusting some snow off as he comes in. Does a little bit of the thing dogs do when they come in.
He shakes.
Yes.
Okay.
And yeah, very quickly looks around, kind of taking in the inn in front of him.
Okay. What about Mel?
All right. Mel comes in. She's much shorter than almost everybody else. Well, she's shorter than two of them. Wow. Good start, Lindsay. So Mel is a half drow. Her skin is like a slate, like slight blue to the dark-ish gray that she has. Her ears are longer, but like not very long and not pointed like a full elf's would be. Her hair is a pale gray that she's just like wearing down. Maybe she has it like tucked into her hood. She's like taking her hood down now because like of the weather, just shaking the hood off. She probably looks around, sees other people looking kind of sour, and is just like, this is fine. Like, this is normal. She is wearing some like layered metal armor underneath like a simple duster jacket. Like all of her stuff is very worn looking. And she has like a thick globule of what looks like gelatin or like some weird like ooze thing on her shoulder that as she comes in, she just kind of like prods at it and it like lifts off of her shoulder and like does a little swirl in the air and she like kind of pats it. And she walks in and I think she'll probably just take a seat and just like spin the chair around, sit in it and like lift up her feet and just prop them on the table.
Okay.
Just immediately gets comfortable.
Okay. Now I need to ask, so the gel that you have on your shoulder, that is your
that's my homunculus.
It's your homunculus. Now you gave me a little adorable cartoon picture of,
I sure did.
Of it. Does it have eyes and a mouth and does it look like that, or is that what
I think it sort of does.
Okay.
It's like a mix of Flubber and Morph from Treasure Planet.
Okay, cool.
Is what it looks like. And it has a little bit of a floaty because it does have a fly speed. That's not very fast. So I think it just like floats around by her and just follows her where she goes.
Cool. Okay. So what about Jules?
That's me. Yes. So Jules, probably shepherding the rest of her friends in out of the snow, is very tall and lean. She's about 6'2". Very tall, sort of lean, muscular woman with large, kind of calloused, working person's hands. She is a genasi. She has pale blue skin, silvery gray eyes, and her skin has these thin kind of white, almost like fissures running through it. She looks like she's made of crackling ice. It's very cool. She has a thick, long on one side, and in the back past her shoulders, snow white hair that is shaved. On the other side, she has a lot of piercings. Her septum is pierced. Her eyebrows are pierced. She has lots of mismatched kind of silver earrings, things like that. She wears chainmail and not a whole lot of other stuff. She's probably not really dressed for cold weather. less so than her friends. The cold doesn't bother her. She wears chainmail, carries a shield. She's got a mace and a spear. And then she wears a very thin kind of silver circlet around her head, and a holy symbol around her neck in the shape of 2 trees that are intertwined by the roots. But yeah, I think she's towering over and shepherding everyone else into the building and dusting snow off of heads.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, Mom.
And last but not least, Hilda.
Yeah, so while Jules is very tall, Hilda is very small. She is 3 feet, 1 foot, 1 inch tall, halfling, with like big, bushy, sort of like auburn, brown red hair, is dressed in a bunch of different like mismatched sort of like layers of clothing, just like it's like giving her a sort of puffier appearance than she normally is. She doesn't like the cold very much. And she has a pair of like very round spectacles. And what else? Sort of like across her front, there's sort of what looks like these pouches with these like little wooded handles sticking out. And she's got like a bag, like a bag to her side that this little white cat head is poking out of.
Does your cat have a name?
Yeah.
Or is it just the head?
It's just a floating head. No, the cat's name is Panger.
You said Panger?
Panger, yeah.
Okay.
Can I try again a little bit? I realized I did a really bad description. Mel's really thin and looks like a punk. She's a lip piercing. The end.
Okay.
That's all I wanted to
Nice.
Okay, perfect. So you come
Cleric
in.
has more piercings than the punk.
What was that?
Our cleric has more piercings than the punk.
Yeah, she just has the one.
I can heal my own.
Yeah, but basically Mel looks like she could get knocked over by a stiff wind, but would be very angry about it.
Okay.
Yeah. And I guess one other thing about Chad, because I forgot his very obvious equipment. He's got a big old great sword and a pike strapped to his back.
Okay. Does
And
anybody else
one
have
other
any-
thing.
All right. We're just doing this for the rest of the day now.
I'm also wearing goggles. No, sorry.
Okay, so you come into the this tavern, and from the outside, it pretty much looked as it gave a good impression of what you're gonna see on the inside, which is pretty dumpy little shack. It's 1 story, maybe 3 rooms off the interior of the of this kind of open floor plan or open area where a few tables sit scattered. Some of them are like kind of leaning slightly, partially broken. Chairs scattered about. There's not a lot of people in here right now. Maybe 2 sitting at the little kind of half bar to the left as you enter, and behind the bar there, who's tending to it and sort of flags you or waves you over as you come in. You see a drow woman who looks about middle-aged, has grayish white hair that is braided around the sides, and has kind of sagging, tired-looking eyes. And she calls out as the wind kind of blusters in behind you and the doors flap closed. She says, come on in, all of you, out of the cold. I'll make sure the doors stay closed behind you. How can I help you?
Well, we will take your finest rooms for the evening.
I don't think I'd have any room I'd classify as my finest. I'll give you the one that I think is less likely to have any damage, if that's what you're looking for. Finer establishment, you'll probably want to look elsewhere, though.
I think that will suit us just fine for the evening. Thank you, my kind woman.
It's no problem. Name's Iris. If you need anything else throughout your stay, the rooms you're looking for 4 rooms, one for the each of you. I only have 3, but if you're okay with doubling up on some of them, I can give you 2 of them for a pretty good deal.
Well, what is the price of them?
I'd only charge you silver for the night.
What if we mended some of that damage that you say is there? I tend to be a bit handy with tools. If you want it to be a little bit spruced up, I can help you with that.
Make a persuasion check.
Great.
First roll of the game.
Oh no, I don't have
Roll
my
of the
physical
game.
dice. I'll have to roll digital dice. What a shame. That's a 2. Mel says as she leans on the bar, slips.
She says, "I appreciate the offer and for the work. Unfortunately, we're not looking to hire right now, and I doubt I could really compensate you for your services. If you're all right with the 1 silver for the night, that's all I can do right now. I don't get many travelers, and I have to kind of charge a fair rate when they do come through."
No, I think that's a fair price.
That's
Not even mad.
Do you have any hot drinks, though? I'm
I do.
freezing.
I do. I can get you some warm meat or something.
That would be perfect.
Mulled wine or something like that. Sure. All right. Does anybody else want anything to drink or anything to eat? Maybe I've got some rabbit stew cooking in the back.
Yes, I think a warm meal and a warm drink for everyone.
All right then. I'll get the food for you and bring it out to the table. Once you get yourselves comfortable, it'll only take a few minutes.
Mel immediately plops onto the table, puts her boots up on there, the slush is falling on the table. As soon as she's given permission to make herself comfortable, she does.
Okay.
Mel, have you forgotten all your manner lessons?
They were your manner lessons.
I think Chad sits down and shoves Mel's feet off the table.
Ugh. Rude.
I scramble up. Is there any chairs that would fit halfway? Are they all big size chairs?
Here, probably not. They're probably all big sized chairs, as you said.
Okay. Regular size.
Yeah. So you're probably sitting at it at about head, or your head is just peeking over the edge of the table.
Okay. I was gonna set her back down and kind of try to.
You
stuff a
could
couple folks in
drag
there.
over. You could drag over a stool from the bar to your table, though, and you might be sitting a little bit above it, but you'll
Doing that.
Okay. Yeah. You drag over a stool from the bar. There is an old human fella sitting at the bar right now, drinking probably a tankard of mead. And he eyes you as you drag it over with just a cold, emotionless stare, watches you as you drag it the entire way over. And then as it stops, looks back and goes back to his drink. So so you all sit down for a second, and within a minute or two, Iris comes back out, has a cup of each of you with some warm mead, and 4 bowls of rabbit stew with a half loaf of hard bread in the center on the center table for to share. And she kind of places it in front of you, kind of eyeing each one of you over. She says, "So, not from around here, I assume. What business do you have in Glassnock?"
Right now, eating these bread and soup. Thank you. Tear. Dunk.
Yes, we are traveling through, but I meant to ask you about the notice outside about the troll and McDwyer. Do you know where we might find this McDwyer?
Oh, you're adventuring types then, looking for work. I can't say I'm upset to hear there might be someone looking into that. Yeah, there's McDwyer is the Veilguard captain posted here. He lives just down the road. I doubt he's up right now, but you could probably check in on him in the morning. He posted that about a week back. We've been having a bit of trouble with, what's most are assuming is some sort of troll. I haven't seen it myself, but there have been some livestock that have gone missing during the night. A few people have said they've spotted something that, well, they described as trollish looking. Like I said, didn't see it myself.
I don't think I've ever tangled with a troll before.
Has it been causing trouble or what?
Well, I'd say so. It's taken a few sheep. I think one of the cows went missing as well. Caused a little bit of damage. Destroyed one of the fences surrounding the cattle pens and the livestock pens over on the southern edge of town. For the most part, it's stayed away from people. I don't think anyone's gotten hurt, but it seems to come at night.
So like nowish time?
I'd say so.
Great.
Hasn't been coming every night, but pretty frequently over the last month.
Has there been any like particularly difficult weather that might force it down this way?
No, nothing more so than usual around this time of the year. I mean, it's getting dark a bit earlier, and we're obviously cold's coming in. Probably get our first good snowfall here in the next few weeks. But I mean, nothing out of the ordinary.
All right.
But I'd ask more about McDwyer. He's been the one that's sort of been collecting all the information on it. All the stories that I've gotten have been second or third hand.
Great. Thank you for all the information.
Of course. Well, I hope you take care of it. I mean, I haven't wanted to go. Not that I go out at night very often anyway, but I mean, it'd be nice to know that thing's off the streets. So,
has it been in the streets?
Well, no, it's a figure of speech. You know, off the streets. The
I know,
roads.
I get it.
You're really not from around here, are you?
No.
All right. Well, I won't pry in any much. Your business is your own. But the rooms are yours for the night. If you need anything else, you can find me. My room's just down the hall.
And how much for the food and drink?
Well, the silver for the night is on the house.
Thank you. I'm gonna put down a gold because can we assume I have some smaller change? I'm not. Well, Chad might just be carrying gold.
Oh my gosh, Chad.
Just bags of gold. Seems right.
But yeah, we do the transactions needed to get me the change for a gold piece.
Like he puts down a gold and Mel's like, no. Like switches it out for a few silver.
Yeah, Iris's eyes kind of like she goes a little wise, seeing the gold on the table and looks around, not really. You can kind of get an idea of like, oh, Mr. Moneybags here. Yeah, you pay with the 2 silver for the night. Perfect. Okay. So assuming there's nothing else that you guys, well, if you guys want to plan for the next day or have anything, we can just skip to the next morning.
So I'm just looking up how much gold I actually have. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that'd be something to figure out.
Well,
Yeah.
I can afford to continue to spot us for the next little bit, but I am running out of the money I was able to bring with me.
Well, certainly if you drop a gold at the first sign.
You know me, I am nothing if not magnanimous, but I'm not going to spend an entire gold on this establishment. I was going to get change, but even my pockets have limits, so going after this troll and getting that reward would serve us quite well.
Yeah, that would set us up flush for a while.
More money is never bad.
What do you think, Jules? You've been rather quiet so far.
I think Jules has been eating this whole time.
Perfect.
Just eating and listening. It's fine by me. I suppose we want to do something about it before it runs out of livestock. Starts eating people.
That would be a tragedy.
It would.
Uh-huh.
Anything else?
So what are we going to do about it? Are we like going to go out tonight? So are we going to go out tomorrow?
Oh, should probably just talk to McDwire. I don't know much about trolls, but I can't imagine one more night is going to do much harm. Maybe another sheep goes missing.
Which would be a tragedy.
Yes, but we know nothing about this other than there's a troll, according to a piece of paper.
I agree.
Well, go talk to McDwire tonight.
We could go wake him up. That sounds fun.
Yeah, what time of night is it? Is it super late?
No, I mean it's dark, but it's only, I'd say it's probably around 6 or 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Assuming he's already asleep if he's like 90 years old.
I mean, we don't know how old he is, so maybe.
Oh, but didn't Iris say that he was already asleep, or probably would be asleep at this point?
I don't know, did he? Did she? Did she say that? John?
Yeah, she said that he might be, he might have turned in for the night.
Ah, yes.
I don't remember.
Not necessarily asleep, but like chilling for the evening. You know, chilling. This medieval slang term that we use.
Yeah, being chill.
Well, we could go now. Save us time
we'll see.
Tomorrow.
I'm up for that, yes.
I am perfectly eager to go out into the cold again.
We can tell.
Thrilled.
You can stay.
I've got
Oh,
some,
no, I want to go outside.
well, I've got some extra scarves if you want.
I would not say no, actually.
Reaches into her bag and pulls out a scarf.
All right.
Is it colorful? Is it wonderful?
It's
Is it
it's,
knit?
it's knitted, yeah. It's homemade. It's not perfect. It's got a little bit of bits where it like lost the loop, but it's warm.
Yeah, she'll wrap it around like up to here. And then the little green blob just goes into the...
Into it. Cute.
All right. Bundle up, everyone.
All right, so you bundle up and head back out into the cold. Yeah, I mean it's frigid right now. I'd say, putting it in terms people understand, it's probably around high 30s, low 40s at night. So you definitely have to bundle up. It's not the coldest it will be yet. Since we're kind of in the late fall right now, haven't quite hit winter. Anywho, so you leave back on the street and you follow the directions that that Iris gave you, getting more from her if you need them. You head down the row of buildings, and like I said, there's less than 12 in the town, so it doesn't take you very long to find McDwire's residence. And there is, so small, again, kind of hovel, not dissimilar to the rest. There is a horse kind of stable, or a small kind of lean-to that's functioning as a horse stable off to the side, where there is a horse hobbled there. And the doorway of his home, off to the left of the door frame, hanging there is the sigil, or a sigil of the Veil Guard, indicating that he is affiliated with them. So you walk up to the door and knock, and you can hear some shuffling from inside. There is some light coming from within and some smoke coming up from the chimney. And the door cracks open slightly, and inside you see a older Goliath man, probably in his late 50s, early 60s, very grizzled, thinner, currently kind of bundled up with a heavy robe in the evening, and he has a few scars across his face, head shaven, and then some kind of distinguished markings that run along the sides of his head. And he's kind of squints out into the dark, the light hitting or framing the four of you as you stand in the entryway, and he says, can I help all of you?
Hello? Are you Dwyer?
I am. If you have any business, we'll talk in the morning.
We're here about a troll.
All right. I'm sure the troll will be there tomorrow, that we can talk more then. And
But
he
we're
begins
here
to
now.
close the door.
We heard at the inn that the troll comes out at night, and we thought maybe we could try and take a stab at it tonight.
We could wait till tomorrow, but what if one of your neighbors loses a sheep? It would be a tragedy.
He leaves the door almost closes and leaves it cracked open for a second, and there's a sigh that almost seems to carry out into the night air, and you can see kind of a puff of warm breath in the evening wind. And then he opens it, or cracks the door open a bit. He says, "Come on in then." And he motions you inside and closes the door behind you. It's a small, like, one bedroom place. The bed's tucked into the far corner of the room. Small table, little furnace that is what's kind of piping up to the outside that's providing the heat for this space. One of the windows seems to be cracked, and a little bit of, like, the curtain is fluttering a bit as the cold wind from the outside is carrying in. And he says, "All right, what business any of you have around here? Who sent you? Where are you from? If you're this eager, I assume they're being offered a fairly big rewards for doing something like this."
Yeah, I thought it was from you. We saw a paper in the inn to kill it, and we're like, yeah, we can do that. I want some money.
So you just rolled into town then, and you see the paper, and then you decide, oh, I'm just going to do this tonight because I've got nothing better to do.
Is there something wrong with that?
That's a little weird, I have to say.
You've been waiting for this to get taken care of for a week. Are you going to complain?
You're also
Nope.
not the first one to call us weird.
He walks over and sits in the chair, which creaks heavily under his massive frame. And he says, I guess not. I'll take whatever help, however weird it might be. Fine then. What do you need to know? There's a troll going around out there, and it's looking like it's tearing through the countryside and taking, well, whatever it can get its hands on. So,
how big is it? What direction does it come from? Does anybody know where it might stay? Does it have a favorite livestock it likes to eat?
So far, it's just taking the bigger things. It's taken sheep, goats, cattle. It's taken one cow. I don't imagine it's going to be taking many more of those, considering how few there are in this town. But sheep and goats, mostly. As far as where it's coming from, where it's going, my assumption's been the forest. Anytime anybody's seen it, looks like it's either been coming or going from the timber. We did find some tracks, and we found a few sets of tracks leading to and from the farmlands to the south into the forests. Seem that's the direction it's heading to, but I'm not really outfitted to go traipsing around in the underbrush looking for trolls myself. And the farmers around here aren't really cut for that sort of thing either.
Don't worry, that's what you pay us for. So how big is it?
I don't know. I haven't seen it myself. Based on the reports that I've gotten from the farmers that did see it in the dark, guessing it's about 8 to 10 feet tall.
Looks at Jules, thinks about it, nods.
So, pretty big bastard. Obviously big enough to take a few sheep and
one cow.
And one cow. As far as I've known, nobody's tussled with it yet, so nobody's gotten hurt. I don't know if it's a full-grown troll, if it's might be something younger. Like I said, haven't wanted to dig much into it until we got some proper folks out here to take care of the problem.
Lucky for you, we are proper folk.
kind of
Only
eyes.
some of us.
He kind of eyes the four of you over, and yeah, I think his eyes carry. Obviously, sees like kind of Hilda being a bit smaller. Doesn't seem too happy with Mel.
I'm
and
shocked.
takes a look at Chad and the massive great sword and the pike, and then Jules. I think you're wearing armor, aren't you? Chain.
Yeah,
Chain
I
armor.
have chainmail and like a shield.
Yeah, so both you and Chad kind of wearing some armor and seeming a little more outfitted, kind of nods and says, well, you look fairly competent people. Well, some of you, that is. And assuming you can keep your mouth shut walking through the forest, I imagine you might be able to get the drop on this thing and take care of it. So if you think you're up to the task, I'll compensate you. You just have to bring me back some sort of proof that the thing's dead. Its head would be great, but a hand or something else would work just as fine.
Classic.
Think we can manage that much? Well,
All
I
right.
think we have troubled you long enough. We'll let you get back to settling in for the evening, and I think we've got some troll hunting to do.
That's fair. If you're looking to start on this tonight, that's your call, and you're the professionals, and I'm not going to tell you how to do your jobs if you've been successful up until now. But I wouldn't recommend running around the timber after dark unless you're very familiar with these lands. People want to get lost out there.
We have our ways. Have your coin ready.
Your advice is noted and appreciated, my good sir.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Gives Chad a nod in response. Has just taken up to ignoring Mel at this point.
Yep.
And says, all right, then best of luck then. And you can get out of my house now. So you all funnel out of the captain's house and back on the cold street. So what are you doing?
Mel's complaining.
Well, we could do this tonight, if it's going to be out at night. Or that could mean it sleeps during the day. We could wait. Try to drop in on it in the morning.
I do think that is probably a better idea.
Mhm.
Also, the spells that I have on mine today were for us to travel, so not to kill trolls.
Okay. Well, back inside. Good night's sleep. Troll killing in the morning.
I'd have a good time.
Sounds like a great day.
All right, go on.
Okay.
I think Mel just like elbows Chad when they walk. It's like, we weren't even troubling him. We're literally doing him a favor.
We may need to brush up on your etiquette lessons, Mel.
Only if we can brush up on some of yours. Are you read it?
Some of my what?
Some of your lessons. I think
Yeah.
Hilda has some stuff up her sleeve.
That's true. We have much to practice still.
She's been giving me lessons the entire time we've been traveling.
I would love for the two of you to stop fighting and keep
We're
walking.
walking, we're walking.
We're probably never
Don't worry,
coming
I
back to
can
this
do
town
both,
anyway.
Jules. Don't even worry, I can fight and walk.
We're probably never gonna see him again after he pays us anyway.
I'm gonna throw a snowball at Chad.
Roll attack.
It's
Are
going
you
to require you to
proficient?
put your
No.
actual hands in the snow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which she'll do it. She immediately regrets it, but she'll do it.
Go ahead and make an attack.
Great. I don't. Okay.
Roll
Roll
plus
D20.
strength.
Plus strength.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thrown weapon.
Yuck. I thought the thrown weapon was Dex. Here we go.
Nope. Ranged weapons are dex.
It's an 8. 10
Nope.
minus 2.
It passes right over Chad's head.
It's like a foot in front of her. Ah.
Hilda, look out!
Mel's strength is 6.
Oh,
How
boy.
deep is the snow? Can Hilda walk through it?
There's not really that much snow
Okay,
around
good.
My
right
little
now.
corgi.
Yeah, there's some little patches of it and frost and stuff around the way. It was mostly ice. The ball
Just making
that
sure.
Mel already
Yeah.
took all the snow in the town.
That was all of the
Snowball.
snow.
Speaking of which, if there are only 12 buildings, that's more of a village.
Yeah, that's
Mel says. I remember reading once the categories of towns meeting.
This one has more buildings than my hometown.
Home village?
All right.
Technical
Home
town.
village.
I mean, if you want to get technical.
Obviously, this is much smaller than Glambala, but it has its own quaint charm to it, I suppose.
Oh,
Not enough for you to
do
tip
not
your
say quaint.
barkeep, but all right.
What? I was told quaint is the word you use for places
that
like
is
this.
terrible. It's like calling somebody cute.
But some people are cute.
Doesn't mean you can tell them that.
Maybe.
I don't know, it's worked for
shoving
me in the
everyone along
past.
to get them out of the snow. Well,
you all-
maybe you'll find this tavern cute enough to tip your barkeep next time, Chad.
She hasn't even done any service yet. She gave us a room.
She gave us dinner.
Yeah, she said.
And she said it was on the house.
And it's light, I think.
Where I come from.
We'll leave more
I would
coin
know.
in the morning.
People and tips. Where I come from.
Well, it seems like where you come from, everyone is in a very bad mood all the time.
You guys
You'll
are
feel
back
better in the
tavern,
morning.
or in the Honeybee Inn.
That's a cute name.
Wait, I'm writing that
Are there
down.
bears
I didn't catch that before.
Are there bears there?
I stomp to the room that I'm staying in, and I kick off my boots so that they like splatter snow and whatnot against the wall. And she's just super rude, and then she goes to sleep.
Okay.
So did we get just the one room, or did we end up getting two?
Oh,
Or
we got two.
I think you guys got two. There's
Okay.
2 beds per room, so it's a bed for each of you. They're small. They're like cots more than bed.
Yeah.
Probably nothing like you're used to. But you guys have been on the road for a couple days now, so
Yeah. Better than sleeping with a rock in your back.
fair. So you sleep for the evening. It's cold. You probably don't have most of you are probably sleeping in your clothes because it is cold to the point where there aren't like blankets and heavy down comforters and anything like that you'd have back at your wherever fancy pants places you might come from. Some of you are maybe a little more accustomed to it and comfortable with it than others, but you wait the next day, no worse for wear. Those of you that prepare spells can do so.
Yeah, hold on, man. Jeez.
I need to switch out one of my spells.
Yeah,
I'm
you guys can
prepared.
switch out your stuff if you'd like.
Okay.
But you wait
Chad's
to
always
the
prepared.
Oh, there's so many spells.
you wait to the smell of kind of the inviting cinnamon scent of like or hot porridge coming from the other room, come from the main room. It seems that, or any of you that head out into the main tavern, there are a couple of patrons in there, workers from the town that come in to get some breakfast. Iris is serving a couple of them and sitting at a table with a drow man and then a human woman that are seeming to get prepared for the day, and they're having some light conversation. Iris gives sort of a polite wave and a nod as you all come out, and she says, would you like any breakfast or anything else before you head off for the day?
Yes.
All right, have it right up then. Hopefully the rooms weren't too bad, she says as she heads into the back to get the porridge.
They were great. Thank you.
She comes back out and places a bowl for each of you that wants it on the counter. And she says, so we had to stop by from McDwyer earlier this morning. Comes in crack of dawn, that man, but said that there were some travelers that came by looking to help with the troll problem. Assume that you paid him a visit last night.
That we did. Learned what we needed to, and we'll be off to hunt a troll after we break our fast.
Good. Well, best of luck with all of you, and I'm sure we'll have rooms available should you need to stay here again tonight. I appreciate the help you're doing for all of us. It's gonna help us all sleep a bit easier when it's all said and done.
We're happy to help.
Spells done. Everybody good?
Yeah, and I also want to note that before Mel came out for breakfast, she like cleaned up all of, like the mess that she made before on the night before. She like made her bed and like folded all of the used stuff that needed to be cleaned, like has it on the side of the bed, like so that whoever goes into the room to clean it for the next person like doesn't actually have to do much at all.
Okay. Some mixed messages from Mel. Feet on the table.
Yeah.
Clean bedroom.
I mean, I'm sure Chad was giving her the stink eye at her mess.
Well,
Yeah,
Mel's
probably.
a jerk, but she's like a jerk just for show, basically.
Got it.
So you're all set. You
Yes.
guys are fed, well rested. How would you guys like to conduct your investigation?
Well-
First, I leave 5 copper for the
Yep.
meals.
All right, much
So-
appreciated.
Yes, there is a tip. But yeah, I guess we were told it checks out the livestock. It's towards the south, so I guess we head that direction.
Okay.
If we can find some text, we might be able to get some more information about it.
Mhm.
Hally ho!
So there is as you leave and kind of in the morning light, you get a much better view of this town. Again, the 12 or so buildings that are kind of clustered together at the center kind of town square area for what you might call a town square, and then you can see around kind of on these slightly rolling hillsides that lead towards the forest. There are a few smaller sheds and buildings scattered about. Each one of them seems to have a low, most of them stone fences that surround a sort of a paddock where you can see some sheep grazing and some other sheep and goats and some other livestock. Some chickens go running across the road as well as you walk to
Why?
south. Oh, why indeed?
I didn't get it, but then I got it.
But yeah, so you're towards the edge of town, and the town itself abuts right up to the West Timber. So you have these tall these imposing trees ahead of you that scattered at first, and then kind of build together in this really dark, ominous-looking forest that extends off to the south as far as you can see in every direction. So how would you like to approach this, or what are you guys looking for? What are you doing? How are you conducting this search?
I think as soon as we near the pens, Chad is just looking on the ground for any irregularities in the snow. Like, is this a troll track? Is this a troll track?
I'm
Okay.
actually looking for tracks.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna look for not just tracks because I've got that handled just totally. Are we near the timber at all?
You're very close. I mean,
Okay.
you're on the outskirts of it.
Using my goggles if necessary, I'm going to look for like particular damage to trees, like if any branches have been snapped and how high up, like damage to fences, blood trails.
Okay.
Stuff like that.
Okay, so I would say either survival or investigation checks. Those are you that are searching, depending on what you're.
Excellent. Natural 20 for 28
There we
investigation.
go. Nice.
Natural 20 for 28 survival.
Oh, GG! High five!
Yeah.
High five! We got this! Yes!
Guys.
We're gonna find a
Chad?
whole colony of trolls.
Yeah.
I rolled a 12, so that's a 10 investigation.
Oh, good job, Chad.
Chad,
Oh,
you find
man.
some tracks in the ground, and you begin kind of following them around, and you're pretty sure this might lead somewhere until it kind of circles back around, and you come face to face with a goat that is just grazing in the pasture behind one of the barns, and it just looks up at you, has a mouthful of grass, just.
Well, Matt, yourself. And I can go back to join the rest of the
Making
group.
friends.
The other two of you, so here's what you get. We'll start with Jules because you're a little bit closer. You search around the paddocks and this low stone wall, keeping in the sheep here, and what you find, There are some footprints around here and some human footprints. You assume much belong to like the farmer or the shepherd that maintains the livestock here, sort of wandering and kind of following the perimeter. What you do notice as well, very faintly, looks like it's mostly kind of washed away in any recent rain or kind of flurries or snowfall that might have happened over the past couple weeks. But there's some very faint, large indentations in the ground, too big for human or Goliath feet, too small for like a giant or something of that size. But and they're and they're fairly regular. You gather based. I don't know how much experience Jules would have necessarily with trolls or ogres or things of that size. But it looks like it could be tracks kind of around they kind of lead up to the pen. And then there are some that seem to lead away. At the same time, Mel, you do see some areas of the slow stone wall that look like they may have been recently rebuilt. The moss and the plant life growing around it seems damaged, doesn't seem as regular as the rest of it. Probably was knocked over and reconstructed by the farmer in recent weeks. So you see that kind of very close to you, get an idea. These kind of match up with what Jules is finding, and using your goggles so you can get a better idea, kind of looking up into the trees and getting a very close eye on things. You do see, well, you don't see any damage that would indicate something very big like lumbering against the branches or things like that. What you do find is a bit of rope tied around a tree that looks like it was cut fairly recently, like something might have been tied off here at one point, and the rope is pretty weathered and kind of beginning to degrade a bit, like it's been tied there for a couple of weeks, just near the edge at the edge of the forest.
And can I, assuming Jules points out the tracks, can I look at them and just kind of determine like how far apart the gate is, and then determine like how big of a thing we're talking?
Yeah. Based on the size of the tracks that you guys are looking at, the two of you with your survival and investigation, I'll give you that. It looks like it would be about a creature about 10 feet tall or so, much taller than a human or a Goliath, but with wider set feet, with kind of a trudging gait.
Found it. I mean, not clearly, but... Yeah, so we're talking about like a big creature, about 10 feet tall, I'd say. Apparently pretty hungry, if it wants to eat so often. But strong enough to break this stone wall. But not so big as to damage the trees at all. Definitely seems to be opportunistic, taking what is closest by. So that is what you're dealing with.
All right.
Don't see any indication of great intelligence, just snatch and grab. Is that a fair leap, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good work, you two. Do we have a trail to follow into the forest to find the beast's lair?
We could try. Let's try to follow the tracks.
Okay.
If Chad is given any kind of direction, he just goes.
Okay. Yeah, Chad begins wandering off the wrong way, and you kind of ride him and to the correct direction.
No, this one.
Begin trudging through the forest. So who's going to lead this charge? I was assuming Jules, because you did the survival check to find the tracks.
Sure.
Okay. So you head into the forest and find that the tracks themselves seem to head pretty due south into the woods. I'm gonna have you make another survival check. If you're if you're the one leading the charge, I don't know if anybody else wants to do anything while you guys are.
I'd like to assist her if possible.
Sure. Okay. So the two of you look together. So you can make a survival check with advantage.
17.
17. Okay. So you begin following the tracks into the forest. They're very faded at this point, and they're difficult to follow. You lose them a couple times, then you pick up some more a little further in. And as you're following them, let me double check something. So as you follow them, you get to a point where they intersect with a roadway that leads through the kind of northern edge of the forest, kind of following along. You weren't sure where this road leads exactly, but based on its positioning and the direction that's going, it's probably one that connects to Quildun or one of the other larger settlements further into the forest or on the other side of it. As it intersects, though, you hear some voices coming from down the path. Some gruff conversation and some people seemingly having maybe a little bit of an argument, maybe about 20 or 30 yards down from you.
Mel goes over.
Okay. You, after kind of standing there trying to figure out what to do, Mel, you head towards the voices, and as you come around some of the underbrush and the taller, thicker trees, you see there are 4 individuals that are sitting kind of in just off the side of the road with a small handcart. 2 of them are human man, 1 human woman, and a Goliath man that is actually sitting up on a boulder, kind of whittling with a small kind of piece of wood coming from one of the dry wood coming from one of the trees. He doesn't seem to be paying too much attention to their conversation, while the other 2 are one of them is holding a rabbit in hand and arguing with the other. In the hand cart, there is a large there's something in the back of it, but it is covered up by a large tarp or a brown sheet of some kind. And the 2 of them are mid conversation when you come down the path, and the woman turns over her shoulder, kind of wheeling around on you, and their conversation stops, and she says, "Oh, hi there. You startled me. Sorry. We were just having a conversation. Just. I don't care what you do with it at this point. Just get it out of my face." Anyway, she turns back to all of you. She says, "Sorry if you're bothering you. If you're out here doing business, you're free to pass. We're just anyway." She gets really kind of flustered for a second and looks over to the other 2, and says, and the guy up on the rock kind of sighs for a moment and shakes his head and says, "Greetings.
Good morning.
If you're heading south from here, I'd probably take another direction. There were some wolves in this area. We're kind of keeping an eye out, so just be wary of that. Can I help all of you?"
I don't suppose you've seen the troll around these parts?
Okay, David.
No, I haven't heard anything about a troll around here. You heard anything about a troll, Henley? And the human man that is off to the side by the cart shakes his head, says, "No, I haven't heard anything about that." And the Goliath says, I didn't know there were any trolls in this part."
Well, everyone
Something-
else here has heard of it, so
Or
be careful.
Are
We were
you
just
just passing through as well?
yeah, we were coming north from Quildun and looking to head up to Glanbala. So, not too familiar with these parts, but hadn't heard anything about there being anything that nasty around here.
Well, we're looking to take care of it, so there won't be anything nasty for much longer.
Oh, you're looking to slay a troll? You must be pretty competent people.
Mm-hmm.
The most.
Ah, well. He kind of chuckles. He says, "Where are y'all from?"
All over, but recently of Glambala, so nice enough place to visit.
Is there anything that we noticed about like the trip from Glamball that we can share with them? Like anything to watch out for on the road or anything like that? Since they said that's where they're heading.
Yeah,
Trolls everywhere. The road there is just
trolls just all over the place. But no, I don't think you probably would have come across anything too dangerous. You might have heard some rumors that that there were some issues or skirmishes up to like the north, way west from or east from where you're at, towards the mountains, with some of the dwarven clans coming down from the mountains and having some scuffles or skirmishes with some of the Veil Guard. But that's pretty far off, not directly between Glanbala. It hasn't really gotten there yet. So
Okay.
The streams aren't quite frozen, so don't drive over them.
There you go.
He nods. He says, "Wasn't planning on it."
Never know.
Well, I suppose best of luck in your troll hunting then.
Thank you.
Is there anything suspicious about their behavior? Like the fact that what's her face was like, hey, what, huh? And like, are they trying to like hide anything? Were they talking about anything illicit? Like, what's under the tarp? Also,
I don't know. Do you want to ask? Do you want to? How are you?
I just like, can I gauge like a guess based on the shape under the tarp?
Sure. I'm just trying to gather whether you're trying to make an insight check on them or like a perception check on the tarp, or what do you...
I'm trying to do some deduction here. Like, how low is the cart hang? Like, how much pressure is on the ground from the wheels? Like, how heavy is it? What's the shape underneath that tarp? Can I make some guesses? Is it multiple boxes or one thing?
Okay, Sherlock.
Okay. Yeah. So here's what I'll say. You could do an investigation on the cart if that's what you want to, if that's what you're angling for. You'll probably have to walk up to it though.
Yep, I will do that. I'll just start walking.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Hilda, it was just something you said. I didn't get the...
No. I mean, is like concerned that Mel is just walking towards his cart, but...
Yeah, basically, like, while they're talking to us, and Jules is like, don't drive over the stream, and Mel's just like, and just, like, walks into them. Like, into the midst of them.
Yeah, I'm just talking to him. So where are you from?
Okay, so you start talking to them as Mel walks herself over to the cart. As you get closer to it, the man that is sitting by it, that he referred to him as Henley, kind of sidesteps between you and says, "Oh, whoa there, no, I don't mean to. You seem like nice people, but I don't really trust anyone by our stuff."
Oh, that's fine. I'm just curious.
Well, there's lots of other things in this forest to be curious about. Why don't you just...
Yeah, but none of them are, like, very close by, so...
He kind of looks back over to the Goliath on the boulder, who says, "No, like Henley said, he's getting a bit twitchy right now, but you, like I said, you seem like nice enough people. Why don't we just go our separate ways?"
It's fine. Are you guys like tradespeople or something? Merchants going up to Glenbala or something?
Something like that.
Something like that, like bandits? At this
Do you
point, I would
ask
like to
them?
make an insight check if that's possible.
Okay.
If they're doing
Yes.
that thing from the movies, they're like, something like that. But they mean like, we're
Oh.
definitely criminals.
Sure. You can make an insight check. You ask them where they're from, Jules.
Yep.
The who are you referring to?
Whoever's closest.
17 insight. Go on.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll say it's probably the woman that you're talking to before, and she says, "Oh, I grew up in a small town, not too far away from here. Just ended up in Quildon and sort of working for work, just all over the place. And
Sure.
the Goliath sitting on the rock says, I need a name, sorry. Says, Joanne's a bit skittish, but she's just new at all this. We just came from Quildon, been working out of there, doing some trapping and some hunting nearby, and heading up to Gambala to trade our wares, I guess.
All right. Well, best of luck.
Well, thank you. I guess good luck to all of you and your troll hunting. He's keeping a very close eye over on Mel, who's walking over towards the cart. Mel, you rolled an insight check.
17.
So what I'll give you from that is they're clearly trying to distract you from looking and seeing what is inside the cart, and you get that they are getting a bit shifty about it. Like your bandit meter doesn't go off. They're
Yeah.
just like suddenly they don't have just like bandit written across the top of their head, but there's something weird going on here.
Could
Okay.
I poof Panger close to the cart?
Sure.
I think Mel will just like.
Am I within 30 feet?
You are within 30 feet. Yeah, easily.
Okay. Just gonna pop her over there and have her look around the cart and maybe look underneath the.
Okay. Are you like perceiving what Panger is right now, or are you?
Yeah,
have
it's
to
gonna
relay this
it's gonna like
information?
walk up over to Jules and kind of just like set her hand on like something on Jules. And then I was gonna look through Panger's eyes for a second.
Okay. So you look through, you kind of bracing yourself on Jules, and
Yeah.
the world kind of goes dark for a brief moment as you perceive through Panger, and Panger kind of jumps up onto the handcart, and you hear the conversation. The guy has his back to you, and everybody's focusing on Mel right now. And I think you notice two things. One is as you're making your way, as Panger is getting closer to the edge of this tarp here, you see it kind of shift slightly. And you also notice as the man who's currently Henley, who's currently talking to Mel, one of his hands is kind of tucked in behind his back, and he is beginning to unsheath a dagger from behind him.
So this sounds like it's reacting to that, but something that Chad would have done is like if the rest of them are getting shifty at Mel being annoying, Chad would have gone over and like put an arm on Mel's shoulder and just like, come on, Mel, they're perfectly nice people. Let's get out of it. Let's leave them be. And so Chad is at least right next to Mel as this is happening.
Okay,
Hold
that's
on,
fair.
hold on. One more thing. I'm pretty handy with tools if you're going to be making the long trip to Glenbala. Do you want me to look at your wagon, maybe fix a wheel, make it not so wobbly? That sort of thing?
He smiles and he says, Wagon's perfectly fine. I just tended to it myself, so nothing to worry about that.
I'm never going to make a single coin in this freaking forest.
I'm sure you'll make plenty going and hunting down your troll out there. So feel free. And
Is he still pulling that dagger out?
he has it in his hand, but he hasn't moved any further. And Penger, do you have Penger look under the tarp?
Yes. If there's like a little crack, she can kind of like poke her head in.
Penger pokes her head kind of underneath and looks under the tarp, and you see inside or underneath, tied up and gagged and blindfolded, is a young human man.
Okay. I am gonna have Penger start meowing really loud, and I'm gonna pop out into my own vision.
Okay. Penger begins to meow, and the guy who is talking to Henley, who's talking to you, his head jerks around. He looks back towards the wagon in that moment, towards the sound of the meowing. He goes, What was that? What do you do?
Be like,
Yeah, we need to know that something's up, Hilda.
and I'm just gonna yell, "Watch out!" No, watch out!
Oh, dang. I duck
think,
so that Chad can do something.
Yeah, so Chad's hand, which was on Mel's shoulder, just goes up and pulls out the great sword.
Okay, it sounds like we're entering initiative.
Let's fight some kidnappers!
Let's fight some kidnappers. I'm gonna take you guys over here.
We assume they might be cops. Who knows?
Oh man, look at that map.
Oh my gosh, look at Hilda's face.
Yep.
Okay. Let's see.
I was gonna say that Mel punches the dude in the back of the head when he turns, but then I remembered her strength is 6.
I mean, she can still punch him.
Probably hit him and fall over herself.
I rolled much better than roll
Oh
20.
yeah, I should probably roll initiative, huh? Okay, let's see where's my
I'm
sheet.
so sad I don't have my real dice. This is a tragedy. It would be a tragedy. Not bad. 16. Oh, Jules. Oh, Jules.
I'm rolling real dice. That's just for the tracker. It's
Jules was
very
like, "Where are
bad.
you from again?" Like,
I have
Do
a
you have any
negative
pets?
1 for initiative.
I just love
Okay.
Jules so much. Do you have any
Alright.
siblings? What's your mom's name? Maybe I know her.
You're my friend.
Ever been to Vacris?
I'm also from a small town.
Just
Let's
a
do
small town
Jester.
girl.
I was born in a small town.
Oh, we're not doing cougar today.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just trying to see.
I just love this. Chad's like, "Mel, please stop being the worst person on this earth. You're gonna get yourself killed."
Okay, Sean, should I be rolling for Panger, or is it he just acts on
He'll just go on
acts on
your
my
turn.
turn? Okay,
Yeah, that'd be easier.
okay, all right.
Okay, I think that is going to be the initiative order there. Well, yeah, we'll do it that way.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought there were only 2 dudes, the woman and the Goliath, but it looks like there's an extra.
Suppressor!
There's an extra 2 dudes. Oh, the person on the cart, that's the person in the cart.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't even see a cart. Oh, there's a cart.
It's
Got it.
underneath the
Yeah.
person that's in it.
Right there.
Got
Okay.
it.
Here,
Gotcha.
I will shrink them down so they fit on the cart. There we go.
Hey.
Perfect. They're a halfling.
Oh yes. Nice.
I'm just kidding. You said they were a human.
Yes. So yeah, you got 1, 2, 3. Everybody looks like a dwarf. Those are just the tokens that I have.
I think that's what was confusing me because I assumed that
Yes.
the person on the cart was the woman.
No.
Yeah, and I'll have a token for Panger next time.
And just for
problem.
posterity, Chad has some enhanced defense from Mel today. She infused his armor for +1 AC.
Okay.
Ooh, that's cool.
Alrighty. So Mel, it is your turn.
Oh dang! I'm first. I was not ready. Oh crap. Man. Well, okay. What weapon does the dude on the rock have?
The dude on the rock seems to be drawing a scimitar.
Okay, that's not too bad. May I shoot a boot?
Yes, you can.
Crap. Not prepared. So sorry. I just assumed I was gonna go last. I usually go last. I'm gonna duck. And I'm gonna take the help action to, I don't know, like tie the dude's shoelaces together in front of me so that Chad has advantage on his attack.
Okay. So you take the help action to tying his shoelaces together. Might be a little weird, but you could shove him off balance or, or something like that. Yeah,
punch him in the knee. So he's
yeah,
in the back of the knee when he turns around.
Cool. Okay, so you take the help action.
And then I'm gonna have Theory pop out of my scarf and spit acid on him.
Okay.
Ooh.
And it just and spits acid, and it's a 11 to hit.
11. I think that hits. Actually,
What?
check. No, that does not hit.
Okay. So basically, this little blob comes out and just like makes itself a weird little blobby shape with eyes, and like this stream of acid, just like misses.
So yeah, the you shove into it, and then as he's reeling and he's drawing this dagger from his back, the Theory comes out and shoots this globule acid. He goes, "Oh shit!" and he ducks down. The globule just passes overhead and hits like the edge of the cart and sort of begins to burn away some of the wood.
Yep. Oops.
Okay, perfect.
That's my turn.
Hilda, it is your turn. I did put a cat token on the field for you.
Perfect. That works.
And there should be a cat thing in your character sheet in your
you.
inventory.
All right. I'm gonna direct Panger to try to get the tarp off the wagon.
Okay.
If I like clawing at it or doing whatever.
Yeah.
What
so
are the stats of cat? Let's see.
Yeah, he is a cat. So I'm thinking we'll just do a strength would be tough. You could just do an attack roll. I mean, either one's going to be real tough for the cat, but you could make either a strength check or an attack roll against it to either tear it up or.
Okay. Yeah. Let's try. Yeah, clawing at it.
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's a 8.
Okay. He begins to claw at it. It doesn't fully tear it apart, like tear like a large hole in it or anything, but it is beginning to work on it. So what does Hilda do? Okay,
and then Hilda is gonna reach up to one of the pouches and pull out like a medium-sized bell, and is going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
So like rings the bell once and is gonna. Oh, I probably should have done this before because I could have had that because I was gonna have the hand also try to get at the cart because I'm within 30 feet.
I think you can. When you cast it, you can do something with it on that same turn.
Okay. Well then, yes, I would also like to have the hand, like manipulate the hand to try to
help out.
Also, yeah.
Panger. Okay, yeah. So the mage hand can lift up to 10 pounds, I think.
Yes.
So
it can attack, and it can't carry more than 10 pounds. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you create the mage hand as Panger is kind of really trying to claw at this thing, and it just doesn't seem to be working. And the mage hand grabs onto the top of it and sort of folds it down a bit, kind of pulling it, bundling it towards the edge of the car, the side of the car. So now the person that is inside of it is now you can see them, and this again young boy, probably late teens, early 20s. It kind of is looking around and beginning to panic a bit, and he kind of sits up in the cart, in some panic and not really sure what's going on. So cool. So that's I think your action and your
yeah, and then I'm just gonna like move a little closer to that rock right there.
Okay, cool.
Just take a step back.
Chad.
All right, I've got the great sword out. I'm going for the guy right next to Mel and me, which with the help, that means I have advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
18 plus stuff.
That'll hit.
24.
Mm-hmm.
So 2d6 plus 3. That's 6 points of slashing damage.
Okay. 6 points slash damage is still up, but it's very badly hurt.
I am going to use my extra attack on him.
Okay, this one is not an advantage. but it's just a regular attack.
Sure. Another 18 plus stuff.
That'll still hit.
Yes.
And I rolled the same thing, 6 more points of damage.
And that'll do it on him. So as he's stumbling and he ducks out of the way of the acid and is beginning to fall backwards into the cart, Chad, you very quickly slash once with your sword and he sort of spins around, blood scattering across the grass and the froth and the ice on the ground behind him as he clutches or braces himself against the cart, begins to turn back around, and with one flourish of your greatsword just cut across his neck, and he gurgles for a bit and slumps over, kind of falling against you or leaning against the cart. And you see the boy in the cart now kind of begins to panic and is like, and begins to kind of move away from the dead body. Seems a little bit worried about it. Just kind of daylight and now dead body right in front of him.
Mel wipes some of the guy's blood off her face and stands up and is like, nice.
Don't worry, we are going to save you from these kidnappers.
Awesome. Anything else you want to do on your turn, Chad?
I think now that guy is dead, I will just move around to interpose myself between Mel and the next dude.
Okay. I'll put it to the Goliath's turn, who stands up from the rock or kind of slides down onto the ground here, and then is going to, I guess, seeing Chad as kind of the biggest obstacle on the battlefield right now, comes strolling up to you and drawing his large, sort of jagged scimitar from his back, goes to slash at you with it. So he's gonna make 2 attacks against you with the scimitar. First attack is a 15 to hit. Second attack is 17 to hit.
That will hit, even with Mel's help.
That's upsetting.
That is 9 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And then, faster than you can realize, he unsheathes from his back a small dagger, which he tries to go for a low strike against you with his third attack. But that is a natural 1. So you parry it to the side, block it, kind of anticipating this cheap shot from him, and then he kind of backs up a little bit into a defensive position, realizing you're a little more capable than he realized. Cool. That is his turn. Jules.
Me. I am gonna. Is this person that's over by me? Is this the woman that I was talking to?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Does she just look terrified, or does she look like she's gonna fight?
She looks scared, but looks like she is also drawing her weapon.
All right. Well, justice is swift. I'm gonna wallop her.
Okay.
With my mace. I wanted to try to not kill her.
That's fine. Yeah, you can specify that you're
I want to say that up
trying to be
front,
non-lethal.
but, yeah, I'm gonna wallop her. I'm gonna try. Okay. 24.
That'll hit.
Okay. What do mace do? That's 7 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, you crack kind of upside the head. You get an indirect strike against her head as she tries to duck out of the way, but it's enough to sort of stun her for a second. She still clutches on to the blade in her hand, but she is maybe second guessing her choices here.
I'm just looking at her saying, you do not want to make a mistake here.
Okay. That'll be so that's it for your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. It's now the remaining bandits' turns. So the one that is over by...
You said they weren't bandits. I'm just kidding. All right, go on.
The one that is over by Chad, I guess, is going to try to gang up on Chad with his boss that is next to him, and he's going to make also make a scimitar attack against you. Rolled very, very well. That's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
For 2 slashing damage.
Ouch. Much ouch.
The woman that is by you, Jules, She is again. I think she's sort of panicked a bit as you hit her. She's like staggering backwards, and she just sort of flails out with her sword just to kind of get you away from her. I'm gonna have her make an attack with disadvantage against you.
Okay.
That's gonna be. Oh well, she rolled 2 6s, so it really wouldn't matter either way.
Ah.
She missed.
That was the calmest.
man.
Okay.
So she flails out and she's kind of staggering away, and I think she starts to try to run from you. Do you do an attack of opportunity or do you let her go?
No, I let her go.
Okay. So she begins by 5.
You're
10,
right.
15, 20.
You have to hide on the ground, tying someone's shoes together.
Okay, so she begins
I
to run
punched him
off,
in the knee.
into the woods after flailing at you.
Is that because
And
Mel doesn't know how to tie shoes?
Excuse you very much.
And it's at that point that you hear a cracking noise in the boughs of the tree above you.
Oh dear.
And you hear a screeching of a bird as a fourth bandit riding on the back of a black hawk of a large black or giant black hawk comes swooping down out of the trees and goes for an attack against you.
I'm the tallest.
You're also the closest. So
the sky.
The bird is going to make a beak attack against you.
I'll do a pick.
It is going to be at advantage because of the rider.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 21 to hit.
Yes.
That is 7 piercing.
Ouch.
And then it makes an attack with its talons.
Okay.
It's a 19 to hit
Oh, just barely.
for 8 slashing. And the bandit on the back, who's riding it, is going to make an attack with a crossbow at Hilda.
Rude.
But that's only 11 to hit you, Hilda.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
So far, I'm
Does
loving
it-
this is basically all Mel's fault, and she has gotten no consequences yet.
Yeah,
Well.
nothing yet.
You will if
That'll-
your healer gets eaten by a bird.
Don't worry, I'll save you. Oh gosh,
Uh,
that did hurt you a lot. Oh no.
Yeah, it's a very big bird.
Yeah.
It's a very large bird. Mel, it's your turn now.
Awesome. So I'm going to very quickly, like Mel kind of stands up and is like, nice, and then turns back and is like, bird? And so she like quickly rolls up one of her duster sleeves, revealing this like weird contraption of like copper wires and like stuff, and like does some spinning so that a magnet surrounded by some wire starts like rotating, and she reaches for something else in her wrist and pulls out this long, thicker wire and just like whips it at the guy on the bird and tries to cast lightning lure on him as it lights up with electricity.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's, I don't know, it didn't roll to hit.
No, it's a saving throw.
Oh yeah, so he needs to make a strength saving throw to hold on to his bird.
Okay. That's a 10. So,
Perfect. He's yoinked 10 feet towards me.
All right. He is pulled.
If he's within 5 feet of me, he gets electrocuted for 7 lightning damage.
That puts him within 5 feet of you, so he also takes 7 lightning damage. So as he fires the crossbow bolt off at Hilda, suddenly there is this like wire that wraps around like his arm that he's holding the crossbow bolt out with, and it yanks him off the side. He goes dragging through the dirt and the mud on the ground, and as he's laying at your feet, Hilda, the device clicks, and then there is that surge of electricity that runs through him, and he flails for a bit on the ground. He's still alive, but not looking very good.
And then I'm gonna club him in the face with my dagger.
Okay.
Just like blunt and like poof.
So is it your action to do the?
That's yeah. It was my action for the cantrip, and then with arcane armament, I'm gonna use
That's
my
right.
bonus action to
That's right. I forgot
crack
about
him in the face.
Oh, that's cool.
that. Go ahead.
Ooh, 23 to hit.
That'll hit,
Awesome. The damage is 5.
and that'll be enough to finish him off.
Perfect.
So
non-lethal.
non-lethal. Okay. I wanted
Tase
to
and then
double-
punch him in the face.
Okay, I will go ahead and mark him as unconscious right now. Yeah, you just crack him over the head with the dagger. He's just lying down in front of you after tasing him, and he is out.
Okay.
Cool.
Then Theory is gonna try and spit acid at the bird and just make it go away.
Okay.
Get him, Theory. Nope. 12?
12. Actually, I think that does it. That hits. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. It does 1d6 plus 2 damage. Which is 7.
Okay, 7 points of damage to the bird. All right.
And that's it. And then Mel just kind of looks at Jules and Hilda and is just like, she's like, yeah. I'm so proud of myself. I actually did something and contributed to this team instead of just being a butthead.
Yeah.
And that's
Hilda, mostly unaccompanied over there. What do you do?
He's gonna pull out a different bell and cast Hold Person on the chick who's running away.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So they have to make a wisdom save.
All right. Wisdom save. That is a 1.
So nope. So she is paralyzed until for up to a minute or until I break concentration.
Okay. And suddenly she kind of just like
It's
stops in place and just freezes there.
Yeah, it's like, no, dear. And then is going to ring both of the bells together and inspire Chad.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, I love Hilda. Look at her. What a cutie. I just love us. Guys, we're so cool.
So another ring of this beautiful kind of haunting resonant or melody kind of rings throughout this little clearing here, kind of cutting through the clamor of battle. And Chad, you feel that surge of inspiration on you as it is your turn.
Okay. And I'm figuring out
sorry.
what figuring out what the die is. I can't remember.
Depends on what your bard level is right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to find where's the
I think
thing
it's
about.
a D6. Until you're level 5 bard, then it's D8.
D6, yes. All right,
D6.
so you have an extra D6 that you can use.
Cool.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't put this stuff on my sheet yet.
So Chad, what do you do?
All right. Let's see. So there's big Goliath boss dude, and is Henley still up, or did I cut Henley's throat?
No, Henley is dead. Yeah.
Cleft in twain.
Yes. All right. Well, seeing as the Goliath got me, I'm gonna try and slash him. So great sword against him. Dirty 20.
Yeah, that'll hit. And this is against the Goliath, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
Or that is 12 slashing damage.
Woo. Woof. All right.
Extra attack against him. 22 to hit.
22 will hit.
So 3 of my 4 attacks with the greatsword so far have rolled this. That's 6 more slashing damage.
All right.
We're
Okay.
gonna use up all our luck before we face the troll, you guys.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Let's go ahead and action surge.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, there you go. Look at him
Yeah.
go.
So gonna go for Goliath Man again. That's a natural 1.
Yikes.
But
You're
extra
inspired.
attack. Just using my extra attack from the extra action. 22 to hit.
22 will hit. And boy, my
let's-
rolls.
10 slashing damage.
Ooh. All right. He is still up.
Hold on. Let's see. Let's do. Yeah, I'm going to use one of my maneuvers, my distracting strike. So I expend a superiority die to add 3 to the damage, and
Okay.
the next attack roll against the target by someone other than me has advantage if it's made before the start of my next turn.
Oh, dang,
Okay.
Gina.
All right. Perfect. Yeah, we'll add 3 damage onto that.
And then I think for my bonus action, let's see. Yeah, I will use my rally maneuver. One superiority die to bolster one of my companions. And so I yell over at Jules, "You can take that bird! You got this!" And you get 7 temporary HP.
Nice.
Man.
So Chad just sort of takes command of the battlefield here, and after laying some hurt on to this bandit, calls out to Jules. You feel yourself kind of bolstered after taking a really heavy hit against from the hawk in front of you. Find yourself standing a bit straighter, and then you also use that opportunity, Chad, to sort of feint against the bandit, who gets kind of knocked off kilter a bit, opening himself up to a strike from one of your companions. That will be his turn now, though, and he is going to step forward right here. And he is then going to make some attacks. So he's going to make an attack against, seeing Hilda knock out one of the guys as well, and kind of.
My name's Mel.
Or Mel. What I say?
Hilda.
That's what I meant. So Mel, seeing you knock out one of the dudes before and seeing a little more capability from you, decides why not, is going to hit you with
Here are my consequences.
Scimitar attack. That'll miss. It's going to be an 8.
Sweet.
It's going to follow up with a second Scimitar attack. It's a 22.
Oh, yeah, that hits totally.
For 6 slashing.
Oh, that hurts me. Oh.
And then is going to make a dagger attack against Chad. But that is only a 12, so that'll miss.
That misses.
So he spins around, tries to get you with another cheap shot, kind of slashing near your face with the dagger, but you quickly kind of lean back, and the dagger just cuts through the air in front of you. That'll be the end of his turn. Jules.
Bird. Is the bird just gonna stay here?
Looks pretty angry.
It did just get burned by acid.
Thanks.
It did also just get burned by acid.
Thanks. Well, guess I have to kill a bird now.
Sorry, man, I tried to help.
No. Can I reach the bird?
Yes, you can.
Grab the bird?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna reach up, or I grab I don't know, I have so many things in my hands. I have so many things. I'm gonna reach up and grab the bird, and I think your holy symbol like glows a little bit, and I'm gonna cast Inflict Wounds
Okay.
on the bird.
Make your attack.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
23?
No, yeah, that hits.
That is 16 necrotic damage.
I assume this is going to be lethal.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to kill the bird. Sorry.
Yeah, you sort of reach up and you grab the bird, grab the hawk by like the throat, and it lets out like this sickened kind of squawking noise as the life force is drained from its body, and you watch its body begins to go cold, and you see kind of frost beginning to form around the edges of its feathers, and it lets out one last and then falls to the ground and just kind of cracks into 2 desiccated pieces on the hard grass in front of you, the hard earth in front of you.
Great.
Hey, Jules? Hey, Jules? That was really cool.
I'm gonna crack my knuckles and turn towards. That guy's unconscious, right?
That guy's
The
unconscious.
guy. This
There's
one,
2
then.
more up. Yeah, there's 1, 2 still
I can't do
conscious.
anything, but I'm gonna be very large and imposing and come right up behind him.
Okay.
I go.
Ooh.
It's gonna be the bandit's turn now. Man, he is out of his league here. He is going to, I guess, bolstered, seeing his leader there in front of him, is going to try to make an attack against Chad. Well, yeah, he'll go for Chad. 15. That misses. Okay. So he swings at you with the scimitar, and it just scrapes against your armor. You barely even feel it hit you. he's not really, I think after being totally useless there, he is also going to try to run for it. But he will provoke attacks of opportunity because he already attacked. So he just starts to run away. Jules and Chad, anything you do?
I try and get him with the great sword, but I assume a 9 misses.
A 9 will miss.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to bonk him.
Okay, bonk away.
Nice. 16?
That'll hit.
Okay. Try not to kill him at this point. I don't think she's trying too hard.
Yeah, he has.
There's a couple of them that are alive.
I don't think you'll be able to kill him, but then again, I'm not entirely sure.
No, it's like 6 damage.
6 damage?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still up, and he keeps running. 5, 10, 15.
Now he has a headache.
5. Yeah, you crack him over the back of the neck with his with your mace. He staggers for a bit, just enough to duck underneath Chad's strike, but continues to try to run. And you hear the Goliath kind of mutter, says, "Coward," and doesn't do anything else because it's not his turn. Mel.
Oh boy, double checking some ranges really quick. Nope, and nope. Well, this is slightly a waste, but Mel's gonna flip her dagger around that she used like the blunt side to knock out this guy. She's gonna try and stab the Goliath in front of her.
You have advantage because of my distracting strike.
Excellent.
Do. Stab away.
Click. 23.
That'll hit.
Sweet. The damage is 5 piercing.
All right. 5 points of piercing damage.
And I realized I've been doing theory wrong this whole time. I have to use my bonus action to tell him to do something.
Okay. Yes. So
So with my bonus action, I'll tell theory to just like fly forward a little bit, which is, I'm not on click. So what's his speed? 30, 5, 10, 15, whatever. He's close enough to spin at the dude running away.
So he just kind of, is he hovering or is he crawling across the ground?
Oh, he flies.
Okay. Bandit Captain's going to make an attack of opportunity against him.
No, my homunculus.
The scimitar, it's a 21 to hit.
That hits.
For 4 points of slashing damage.
Ouch. Poor boy. He's alive though. He gets like slit in half, but then like the goop just kind of like reforms and keeps floating.
Okay.
And then he's gonna spit at the dude running away. It's a 15 to hit.
That hits.
Perfect. The damage is 4 acid.
He is still up. He's very bad. He's limping away as fast as he can as the acid is burning on the back of his leg. This little resilient soldier is trying hard to get away. Okay. Hilda.
Okay. My friends seem to have that figured out, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm gonna dash over here and then try her up while she's paralyzed.
Okay. So you start you used your action to dash that turn?
Yeah, I use my action and then I'm going to use an object, some rope that I have.
Okay.
To tie her up so I can maybe drop concentration on the spell eventually. Yes.
Okay. So you begin to tie her up. I'll say it's going to take, you use the object to actually begin to wrap it around her. It'll take like an actual action, like tie it off secure.
Okay.
So she is like grappled right now, but not fully restrained.
Okay. And then I'm going to have Panger like try to calm the poor boy down. He was freaking out. Like maybe start like purring and like sitting on his lap or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if he's still freaking out or not.
The beans on the face.
Have Panger make a charisma check.
Okay. How do I do that? Let's see.
How charismatic is this cat?
Okay, let's see. If I click on the cat's thing. Okay, let's see. Charisma. Click.
Oh, that whisper.
13?
Yeah.
Oh, how do I turn that off?
I'll turn it off for you because I have my NPC set to auto whisper. But 13, okay. So I think the boy is mostly a car.
It's mostly a car.
Nice.
Yeah, he's mostly catatonic at this point. But the cat kind of comes up to his lap, and I think he looks away from the battlefield and looks down at the cat, which just sort of distracts him for a moment, maybe calms him slightly.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay. So that's Hilda's turn. Chad, what are you doing?
I'm going after Goliath man still.
Okay, make your attacks.
21 to hit.
21 hits.
8 slashing damage.
Yikes. Okay.
He's still up.
Yep. It's looking a little rough.
Yeah. You know what? Let's go ahead and do another distracting strike. So, gonna add 7 more damage.
Whew. Okay.
And the next attack roll by someone else will have advantage, but I am going to use my extra attack to see if maybe I can't down him.
Okay.
18.
You guys are rolling just well enough that he can't use this thing, but yeah, that hits.
All right. Well, I also have things to mitigate if that wasn't going to hit.
Yeah.
For 10 slashing damage.
He's still up.
Okay, dude, I think you have more health than any of us.
Yeah, he had a lot. He is very rough right now. Just kind of.
He is a Goliath.
Yeah, he's barely holding on, surrounded. He's looking like he wants to bolt. And actually, it is his turn now. So
hold on, let's see. I'm just. Yeah, I think I'm going to use my bonus action to do my second wind.
Okay. Yeah.
Recover a little bit of the damage he did to me.
Okay. So he is now surrounded by 3 of you and is looking very, very rough, and sees the other guy running away. And he's like, "No, listen, we're gonna go off on the wrong foot here." And he disengages and starts to run. 5, 10, 15,
Oh, dang.
30 over here. That's as far away as he can go. Kind of trying to split up the battlefield here. Jules, it's your turn.
Do it.
I'm gonna guiding bolt him.
Okay.
And that has advantage.
Advantage. Jeez.
You made me mad. I don't
It's
like
gonna
it.
get nuked. Radiant nuke.
$17.
That'll hit. Oh, and he can't use that because it's not a melee attack. He never got to use his parry. I'm so mad.
Shouldn't have been
I'm
a dick.
sorry. Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's right. You guys were rolling really high. Everything was like either like a 20 something or like a 10.
I'm really proud of us, but also I'm scared of how our troll fight's gonna go.
It's 10.
10 points. I mean, that's enough. He was very badly off. The guiding bolt slams in the back of him, and there's this explosion of radiant blood splatter as there is like now.
Beautiful
I think
and blue.
Yeah, he just looks down, and there's just we get the camera angle of him looking down, and you can see all of you perfectly framed through the hole in his chest.
Oh no!
And then just and then face plants onto the ground. That's the end of your turn, Jules. Are you moving or anything? You still got one bandit who's running away.
I was gonna let him run away.
Okay. At bandit's turn, he is gonna full dash 60 feet.
He'll remember this.
Out.
Oh, yikes. Why is it doing that? That's not what I wanted. So I can only go 20 feet until he gets off the map, but he goes 40 feet past that. Is there anything anybody's going to do to try to catch up? Any ranged attacks that you guys can make?
I absolutely could catch him. But Mel's gonna look around and be like, do we want to catch him?
Let him go. He'll remember this.
I'll give everyone their individual choice. So Mel, you're going to let him go?
Everyone's consensus seems to be let him go.
Okay. Hilda, you're
But
still-
she yells and she's like, think about your life and your choices!
and then Chad, you're going to let him go too?
Yeah, I think so. I think you see what Chad was preparing to do was his tail had gone up to grab one of the hand axes at his side and bring it up to his hand, but the tail just puts it back down and reholsters it.
Okay.
Prehensile?
To some degree.
Perfect. So that will end the initiative because everyone is either dead and unconscious or tied up at this point as you finish tying up the bandit lady that was running away. So you have one unconscious and one that is currently bound.
We
let's
all
go
look
ahead
around very surprised to see that Hilda's taken a prisoner.
Yeah, so
We're
it
like,
comes charging back to the trees with the the limp body of the bandit. Let's go and take a break here, and we'll come back for whatever's next. So stay tuned, everyone. And welcome back, Internet. Thank you for joining us here in our first session of Saturday Nights, Sarthia edition. So we're getting back. So let's just jump right back into the action, or the fallout from the action. You killed a number of bandits that seem to have taken some poor boy prisoner. You have 2 hostages, one unconscious, one tied up, and a dead bird. So I'm gonna say you've Hilda's dragged
Dinner.
one of them. Yeah, you have dinner. You've dragged one of the Joanne. I think you got her name earlier. Dragged the one hostage over, and you put both of them propped up against the boulder that the Goliath is sitting on. So I guess since Hilda, you had kind of brought the hostage in, what are you doing? Or how would you like? I think because Joanne's conscious and the spell has ended. I think at this point, and she's sort of just giving you this look like, why?
Well, you've got a little bit of explaining to do.
Listen, I'm not really. What you can't just let me go. I really don't.
No, you have a young boy in the back of your cart. I think you should explain.
All right. Just are you gonna let me live, or is this turning into one of those things where you're just gonna tell me you're gonna let me live and then you're gonna kill me afterwards? And
Well, I mean, for what it's worth, you're going to tell us what we want to know, or we have this spell here who we can ask once we kill you, so it's up to you, really.
I mean, when you put it like that, Mel.
That's pretty convincing, right?
I don't know. I haven't really been a part of this group for very long, and I really don't want to.
Just start from the beginning. And what is this boy's name?
I don't know his name, to be honest.
I think we can ask him that himself, and Chad's going to go over and unbind, ungag.
Yeah.
Probably a good idea, because he's still...
Good, the murder devil's gonna untie him.
I think as Chad, you reach over to him, he kind of he flinches back a bit.
Chad, you're still inspired
I'll
for
go,
10 minutes.
I'll go.
No, don't
We'll do
worry.
it, Chad.
It's all right. I would have sheathed my weapon and just like, it's okay. Don't worry. Just we want to know what's going on.
You pull the gag from his mouth, and he says, "You're not going to kill me, are you?"
Why would we do that?
Oh.
I just woke up like this, and you're not with them, right?
We came in. They were going to. It seemed to us they were going to. They did not like our line of questioning. We found you bound and gagged under this tarp, and we're going. No. We assumed you were kidnapped. What's the last thing you remember?
Well, I was. My family and I were traveling south to Quilton. We farm. Things have been a bit tight up in our farmland, and we they weren't going as well as we should, as they've been in the past. And Pa wanted to go down to Quildun and then see if we could make something better for ourselves there. Maybe helping out the traders or I don't know, at least finding a fresh start. And we were just traveling, and we had made camp, and we're taking a bit of rest for a few hours, and it just all happened so fast, and I'm not really sure what happened, but I just blacked out. And when I woke up, I was tied up and I was bouncing around in the back of this cart, and I heard them talking to each other. They were I don't really know much of what they were saying, but I heard a few things. I heard them mention a name, Hargrave, I think was the name that I heard. And I heard them talking about that's right, they were talking about a camp, or a keep, south of here that they were heading to. They were bringing me there. Are there any? He kind of begins to look around. He says, where are my folks? And he kind of looks back and forth and
First, I want to insight him, see if he's straight with me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do I believe him? May I also roll? I'm
Chad
not
goes.
proficient.
I'm going to use the inspiration from Hilda.
Do it.
Okay, good.
14.
14. Okay. Obviously he's scared. And I think you're getting he feels genuine there. As far as his intentions and kind of getting an idea of what he wants right now, he just seems desperate for safety and for some sort of comfort. And he's just kind of balled up in the corner, and the cat is kind of sitting in his lap, and you can tell he's kind of getting some comfort in that. I assume you've untied his hands and stuff at this point. So he's just kind of like petting the cat absentmindedly and looking around. And you can tell he's starting, like, a bit of panic is setting in as he's realizing that his parents are not here.
Can I look around and make sure that there's no evidence that they were ever here? Like, if he was the only one kidnapped, and I don't know what evidence that would be. I'm not smart as Mel.
Yeah, you can make a. You're looking for tracks or something else around here. I'd say.
Or evidence, like in the back of this car, that there have been other people here that aren't.
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Sweet. I have my dice. Dang it! It's fine. It's a 22.
22. Okay. You look around in the cart. It doesn't seem big enough that there could have been another body in it. It looks like they were just transporting him. You don't immediately see any signs that there's anyone else here, and there definitely wasn't anybody else being transported in the cart with them.
Okay.
So, Jules, what are you doing?
Well, I don't know. Everybody's kind of handled the talking, so I guess I'm watching our prisoners very imposingly.
Okay. Are you interrogating them or talking to them, or what are you doing?
I want to also be listening to the conversations with the boy, so.
Okay. All right. Just let me know if there's any checks you want to make or anything like that. So Hilda, the girl that you're talking to, she is looking over as the man next to her is beginning to rouse a bit, and his eyes are blinking, and he's coming back to consciousness. And he looks over, and I assume you guys have tied him up while he was unconscious.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if we probably did that.
Yeah.
I have rope. I'll do that.
Yeah. He's tied up securely. He looks over. He says, "Joanne, what's going on?" And he looks up and he goes, "Oh shit. Oh shit." He looks across and he sees the Goliath lying across the road with the hole in his back. He's like, "Oh shit. Oh shit." He says, "Listen, I'll I'll do whatever you need. I'll say whatever. And then Avery kind of, or not Avery, he's Avery. Joanne says, Avery, no, I'll tell you what's going on. Just as long as I get to live. And he says, what? You. And they begin to fight amongst each other to like tell
Both
you.
of you.
For who
Calm
gets to
down.
live.
I think Chad's gonna pull out his greatsword and just say, right now I need both of you to shut up.
They both stop immediately.
Thank you, Chad.
Puts the sword back. All right.
Both of you can tell me what's going on.
All right. Joanne says, right, like I said, I haven't really been a part of this group for very long, so I don't really know everything about it. And Avery says, yeah, I haven't been a part of it very long either, so yeah, I don't really know. She says, oh, you shut up. You've been here like twice as long as I have. She says,
Oh no.
I joined the Umber Hawkers probably a month back, and I mean, it was just a good way to make a living. There's not a really lot of work around here if you're not skilled with hunting or herding, or you can't even make a decent copper as a farmer anywhere nearby. And God, I wasn't going to join them, go into the mines, and that's. I hear terrible stories about what befalls people that work in the mines. And well, I ran into people at a pub not too far from here, and they were talking about the Hawkers and their leader, and said they make a decent buck, and most of it's non-violent, and they didn't really kill anyone. It was just, roughing up some folks and taking things and scaring people, and I obviously no good stuff, and I understand that, but I was desperate and I was hungry. I couldn't get food on the table. And
Right. And when did this escalate to taking people?
Well,
Gestures to the boy.
our recruitment got a little bit heavy-handed not too long back. Hargrave started saying that if people want to join, that to bring them and we'll make them join. I just sort of went along with it, and I didn't really have much of a choice. I mean, if I had tried to leave at that point, I can only imagine what would have happened to me. So we went along with it, and we found that boy out in the woods, and with this. Well, there weren't a lot of them, and they weren't very well armed, and we sort
Could
of.
you elaborate on that comment?
There were only 3 of them, and they didn't have any weapons, and they didn't have any armor.
And so what happened?
Well, we jumped them just in case they were carrying any weapons, and the boy got knocked out pretty quick. His dad put up a bit of a fight, and we were able to stop him, and then we tried to get them to come with us and told them they could make a decent living, part of the Hawkers, but they weren't having it. And, well, Henley said we should just leave him be and we'll take the boy with us, and he seemed fit enough to do his part, and the parents wouldn't come after us if they knew we had their boy.
So I get the feeling that they left the parents alive, like the family.
Well, until she gets to her next sentence.
Great.
She says, well, the dad, somehow he got free, and he grabbed a knife, and he lunged at us, and, well, before I knew it, Henley had drawn his blade too, and killed the dad. And the mom started wailing, and we couldn't get her to shut up, and, well, our captain took him out too. Or her out too. I didn't touch either one of them, though. I didn't want to kill them, and that wasn't my intent. I didn't really get into this to try to kill people. I just
And
need-
now you're in that business, so.
I haven't killed anyone, though. I never touched any of them.
Mel looks at Hilda and at Jules and permission to treat the witness hostile?
Sure.
No.
I'm-
We're not judge, jury, and executioner. Mel?
I didn't say I was going to kill her.
You all might not be, but I would. In time.
Well, we're not like them. It seems at least the life debt has been paid. I'll gesture to the man with the big hole in his chest and the dead bird, and I think there's another dead one.
There's another dead one.
Chad is
Henley.
standing on a dead one.
Henley, the one that Joanne said killed the parents, is the other dead one. And Avery chimes in and says, like she said, we're just trying to get by here, and not all of us are like Henley and like the captain. Not all of us are like Hargrave. We're not willing to do anything. We're doing everything, and we're just trying to get by.
Well,
Living's hard out here.
luckily, there's a town nearby with authorities that I'm sure would love to hear your story.
Yeah, it's especially hard to live out here when you are dead, because somebody stabbed you for taking their son.
All right, turn us over to the law then. It's better than dying out here.
Indeed.
And Joanne chimes and says, "I really don't want to go to prison. Listen, I'll tell you anything. I can lead you to the encampment, and I can show you where the keep is and where they're keeping everybody else.
Oh, I would love to know that.
I'll tell you that if you let me go, though.
No.
Oh, come on.
You've made your mistakes, and you'll pay for them.
Yeah,
If
you've
you
made
would
your
like
choices.
to influence how kindly we speak of you when we take you back to the town, that's another thing.
Make a persuasion check, Jules.
Look,
Someone else should be doing this.
does she get advantage because I was also speaking and I'm assisting her?
Sure.
You got this.
15.
That's pretty
I
good.
have a -2.
Oh, I forgot your number. Oh boy.
Nope.
She's
She's a gentle giant, but
she shifts again a bit against her bindings, and she says, "Fine. I'll show you where. I'll tell you where they're at. It's not far from here, but you have
Show
to
me on
believe
this
that-"
map.
She kind of looks down at her bound.
Not like
hand.
I take a map and I like point with your nose if you have to.
Here, and she kind of points, like pecks at the map.
Excellent. I remember that.
Okay. And she looks back up. She says, "Listen, I haven't been. I never wanted this kind of life. I'm sorry."
well, now you have some time to think about that, and when you come out on the other side, choose a new one.
Now, in addition to the location, are there any signs or countersigns we should be aware of? Any passwords?
You're gonna need insignia to get in.
Mel, why don't you go check the Goliaths? You're good at finding where people hide things.
Crack. Walk.
So you want to go pat down the?
Mm-hmm. The bloody corpses.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and go to make an investigation check.
Okay. 14.
Okay. You find the insignias.
Sweet.
You have 1, 2 bodies, and then you could take them from the 2 of them too. Each one of them has a a necklace that has a like that has a like circular iron circle or brass circle that it's set into the circle is this blackened like mark of a hawk.
Cool. I will take them and I will hold on to them. Anything else interesting on their bodies with a 14 investigation? Like, I don't know, money?
I don't think many of them had very much money on them. The captain had 30 silver pieces.
Sick. Can I also have his dagger?
Sure. Yeah, they all had their scimitars and light crossbows.
I just put it all in a pile. Clank, 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 clank. While Hilda and Jules and Chad are still chatting, I'm just like clang, just like gathering up the stuff I can in the background.
Okay.
So the rest of you.
Did you ask the boy what his name was?
I don't think you guys have.
Not yet.
Boy,
Boy.
What?
what's your name?
Luke.
We're gonna take you back to town.
Which town?
The closest one.
Westlock.
All right.
Be safe there.
Okay. Did they say anything about my parents?
Your parents were killed. I'm very sorry.
He just like freezes up and looks down at his feet and just starts to cry.
Jules, you could have.
There's no use hiding it from him.
No, but you could do it softer. I was gonna look at Joanna and just like quietly ask, like, where are the parents now? Where are the bodies?
They were about a quarter mile south of here, or no, north of here. Just off the road. And dragged him over into the bushes.
Well, I say we go for a walk. Though I might need help.
I'll go.
Okay. Are you taking so you're going and finding the bodies of the parents, and are you taking the bodies back to town with Luke? Or are you gonna just go to give him a burial there?
I'm gonna ask him what he wants to do.
I think you just expedite the sadness of all of this. I think Luke just says that he just wants to bury him there, and so you find the bodies of the parents. Those of you in the chat who are doubting his story, you find the bodies. You take an hour or two to dig some graves for them and bury them, and then create like 2 small cairns for the mother and father. And after a little bit of time,
and this is just flavor, but Mel will, during this process of like burying them and everything, she'll like mend their clothes so they look all like brand new before we bury them.
Oh,
okay.
That's nice.
I can do funeral rites for them. I should ask him. Well, what god his family believed in. Or followed, I guess. We all sort of know they exist at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
what did your family follow? The 6? Any of them? All of them?
I thought about how just fucked up it'd be. It's like we're followers of Charlie and Chaos. Yeah, that would have been really dark. No,
Wild.
he says, we're followers of, or my parents brought us up in the church of Denowin.
Very nice.
I'll
say a prayer for them and try to add that in.
Okay.
To it.
So you say the prayer. Like I said, you spend maybe an hour and a half getting the bodies tended to and building the small cairns and gathering rocks and things like that before heading back to Glassknot. And that's about another 30 minutes down the road. You didn't get very far into the woods when you came across this. But you find, as you enter the town, you have the two prisoners, I assume, just still bound and kind of dragging them behind, or not dragging, but leading them behind you with the ropes.
I mean, we've got this cart.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to let them ride in the cart, but I think what we probably would have loaded up into
Pick
the cart.
them, pull the cart.
Yeah, have them pull the cart and just like,
Yes.
But any of the weapons from the bandits that we're not going to take, anything that might be useful to the townsfolk.
Okay, so you take the bandits' gear and supplies before. I assume you don't give them a formal burial. You just kind of toss them off to the side. Okay, and you've got their pendants, insignias. Do you guys do anything with the bird either?
Give it to Iris.
Big old drumsticks.
Yeah.
It's
Big old-
it's like frozen. It's all preserved and
Yeah.
did such a good job.
Okay, so you take you bring,
Put it on the cart.
so you put the bird in the cart, which that fills the cart with it, and then you
There you go.
stick the other gear and stuff in there as you can. So you come walking back into town about
It's not a
4
troll.
hours after you left. And the people of the town are giving you some real bizarre looks as you come in. And
Yeah, have you seen us?
You hear some heavy footfalls coming from down the porch that leads up to the Honeybee Inn, and McDwyer is coming down now in his full Veilguard gear. He's wearing this like heavy leather armor and has a long sword at his side, and then the big sort of insignia of the Veilguard, this valley, or the two mountains in the valley between it, emblazoned on his chest. Somebody ask a question?
Is he a human?
No, he's a Goliath.
He's a Goliath, that's right.
Yeah, older Goliath.
I remember now the markings on his head as soon as I said it out loud.
Yeah, and he comes down. He has a slight limp to his walk, you notice, as he's coming down the steps, and he cocks his head to the side and surveys the scene. There's probably a good 5 or 6 seconds of silence. Huh.
Haven't found the troll yet, but we brought you some kidnappers.
We got sidetracked.
Well, all right then. What's with the bird?
It's dead.
No shit.
What else do you want to know?
These are some former members of the Umber Hawkers. I suppose that's one of their Umber Hawks.
Oh,
But it might make some good cooking for Iris.
Now it's dinner. You're
all
welcome.
right. I guess somebody go get Iris and tell her that she's got some. I guess he'll have stew for a few days at least.
It's already frozen, if that helps.
So prisoners then.
They were most cooperative. They told us where the keep is and that there might be other prisoners there.
All right. The rest of you come with me. I guess once you get Iris, let's go talk about this then. And he begins walking down the street back towards his hut. So you get Iris and give her the bird. and
I'm
she goes out.
extremely proud of it.
She's like, my God, what the hell is this? This will be enough food to feed the town for a week. All right. And she has you help her bring it in to to the tavern and says, "And you'll have free food here for as long as you're staying now." And she leads it into the back and begins hanging it on some meat hooks, or like ties the feet together, then hangs it up on a meat hook and begins to like plucking the feathers off of it. And so the rest of you, as she's working on that, you head to meet up with McDwyer, who takes the prisoners, and you're gathering they don't have a formal like jail here, and so he just takes the two of them and he takes the rope that they're tied up with and ties them up, like hobbles them next to the horses. And he says, "I'll get some irons to put on them in a minute." So, and he walks the rest of you away. He says, "So the two of them are with the Umberhawkers."
Yep, we also probably still have Luke with us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Luke. It says, "And this one, does he need to be tied up?"
No, they...
Not again.
He's had quite enough of that.
These...
Yeah.
Their gang kidnapped him, killed his parents, and so now he's without a home.
Well, this just got about 10 shades more complicated now. So, boy, Luke, was it? And Luke goes, "Hi." He says, "All right, we'll find a place for you here. And do you have any family nearby that we can take you to? Anyone and transport you to one of the nearest cities?" And Luke just kind of shakes his head and says, "Not that I'm aware of." McDwyer scowls a bit and says, "All right. Well, you're welcome to stay here as long as you need. Why don't you head back down to the Honeybee, and Iris will take care of you. You can stay in one of the rooms down there until we know what to do with you beyond that. I'm sure she'll have some work for you to keep you busy, and plenty of food too. So once you get along, we're gonna talk a bit about your parents and figure out what to do." And Luke nods and looks over all of you and says, "Thank you." And
You're
just
welcome.
really disheartened voice, and then begins kind of trudging down the road, or the thoroughfare back to the inn. And McDwyer says, as he watches Luke go and looks back to the prisoner, says, "Well, this is a right mess now. I'll have to figure out what to do with these two. Like I said, we don't really have much for don't really do the prisoner thing much around here."
Could I make a suggestion?
All right.
I mean,
How about it?
I don't have a jail, but they seem relatively new to this whole crime life thing and might be willing to make amends. Can you put them to work? Doing something for the town?
And you trust that they're just gonna go to work and not get back to thieving and banding and
With supervision,
murdering?
don't think you should just turn them loose, but
I mean, they claim that they were just doing it because they had no other job available to them.
so there's something they can do.
Well, I'm inclined to just hang them, but if you're the ones that found them, you're the ones that brought them here, I say that she gets some amount of choice in what happens with them, so I'll take that under advisement. It's going to be a bit difficult to get the locals around here, get their minds wrapped around the idea of having some bandits helping them around their farms, but
Maybe don't call them that.
all right.
That's part of the suggestion.
Ex-bandits. Looks at like both of them. Ex.
Looks over them, says, "All right, horse thieves it is then." Okay, so that's one problem taken care of. The Umberhawkers, that's another issue. You getting any mind that this is leading to something bigger? Are they moving up in the world?
I do think so.
Last I heard, they were mostly a thorn in the side of Quildun, and weren't much beyond that. But they've expanded their territory up here. Then can't say I'm a huge fan of that.
They said they had a keep.
And according to these two, they've been more aggressively recruiting. Sounds to me there might be some plans that need more people.
All right. Well, I suppose I have another job for you then. If you're into it.
Oh, with pleasure.
For dealing with the boy and everything else you have done, well, before proper supper, I'd say I owe you a bit of coin for that. He motions and begins to lead in the hut. He says, one of you keep an eye on them for the porch, just in case. And he heads inside.
I whistle, and I'll also send Theory to go, like, okay. Just like, he does that morph thing where it's like, and he's got these big old eyes on this blob that's just like floating around, like staring at them.
But Chad, you stay on the porch with Flubber and keep an eye on the bandits. Okay. He heads inside and rummages around it takes out a set of keys from his belt and goes to a chest, a pretty heavy, like iron-bound chest in the back, unlocks it, rummages around. You hear the clinking of coins inside. He says, I got a bit from my commission from the hold here, and I don't have much to pay in, but this will do. And he brings out a small sack of coins, and he tosses it, I guess Jules, towards you as your big target, and you catch it. He gives you a pouch of 50 gold pieces.
Sweet.
Nice.
And he says, it's not much, but let's consider it a down payment. If you go and deal with these hawkers, or at least find out what's going on, I don't care, kill the lot of them if you really want to. I'll pay you, let's say 10 gold a head. And if you take out their leader, is it still Hargrave? Yeah.
What they claimed.
That's what I thought. If you come back with his head, I know for a fact that the Council Lord of Quildun will be more than happy to pay you its weight in gold.
They're like a multiple consumer nets usually weigh like, I don't know, 8-ish, 10-ish pounds. So is it like a exponential increase?
I think he was meaning metaphor.
Oh, okay.
Once again, you have a hard time with figures of speech, I'm finding.
I take things like literally.
But I'll pay you for that too. I can't give you a firm number on it because I don't have the authority to do that, but I know they'll pay a lot. I'd say more gold than you've got on you right now.
Most numbers would be more than that.
And of course, you find anything else about this troll issue, and I'll pay you for that.
Oh, right, the troll.
Yeah, it's still out there. I mean,
maybe troll hunting tomorrow.
I can't say which one is the more pressing issue, but either one, really.
Did the troll eat anything last night?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Maybe troll hunting this afternoon.
Yeah. Or tonight he might be getting peckish. I wonder how much a troll eats.
I don't even want to hazard a guess.
Well, based on the size of it and its like seeming metabolism and the strength that it exudes, I would probably hazard a guess that it is probably about as often as a humanoid of our size comparatively. And Mel just kind of goes off on this nerd rant about metabolisms.
You nerd.
So, well, that one is going on and on. Anything else?
We'll be back with an indeterminate amount of heads.
All right. The more the merrier. And
Right.
heads
Maybe we
back.
should bring the cart with us.
Wait, what? I want to keep the cart. Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna put the heads in it.
perfect.
We'll also need that tarp.
Since I don't think they'll fit in the fanny pack.
Oh, mm-mm.
I also just want to point out as you're leaving, you don't have to bring back literal heads, just something that shows how many you killed. You all seem to be taking this very literally at this point.
Mel took it super literally. I wrote down 10 gold a head. Like, per head. Like, get the heads.
Except for Hardgrave. His head might be important.
I think Jules
Literal
is
head.
laughing
Got it.
all the way out the door.
Yep.
She knows.
And Mel's still just like, and if you consider the size of it.
All right. You guys head back out into the the town street, and Joanne and Avery are still tied up there, and McDwyer comes out on the porch and to you, Chad, and says, I think I got it from here. And he has now 2 sets of manacles. He walks over and claps the manacles on each one of them and begins to have a very low and very intense conversation with the 2 of them. And you see the 2 of
Quietly
them.
take our ropes back.
Yeah, you take the ropes back. The 2 of them just kind of like shrink down and down against his imposing Goliath form, and you get he's putting the fear of gods in them.
Good.
Good.
Yeah. So, what would you guys like to do with the rest of your afternoon?
I want to hunt a troll.
Lunch at the Honeybee Inn and then
Okay.
troll hunting.
Yeah, let's lunch.
I was just trying really hard not to bleed all over this guy's floor, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Oops, I'm fine.
Yeah, we should go chill for a minute.
Yeah.
Well, I cast mending on Theory as we walk and heal
Okay.
him up. It.
Okay.
Oh, that's how that do.
I would like to
Mhm.
a couple of hit dice over lunch.
Yeah, you guys can take a short rest over lunch, regain your short rest thingies.
Wait, there's a thing I could do as a bard. While
Do you
we're
get back
resting.
your
That's wrong.
do you get your back your superiority dice on a short rest?
Yes, I get back pretty much everything on a short rest.
That's awesome. I wasn't sure about that with
But that also means I'm going to want all the short rests, which
yeah.
may come off as Chad being a big old baby and it's like, can we take a breather?
Okay, so it comes
Those
back
martial
after a
class.
Our
long-
cleric could die a D8.
Yes.
My sheet's wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I rolled a D4.
Ooh, yikes.
Ooh, yikes.
Definitely not a
Yeah, that's
D4.
not right. Can I do over?
Yeah, it gave me
Yeah.
a D4 as well.
Oh, yikes.
I didn't need. Oh, okay, that's on the settings.
Yeah, go into the gear menu and change it manually.
Yeah,
top
it's like
top
the,
left.
it's like the very first thing. Oh,
Yeah.
redo.
Oh, okay. Good to know. I'm
Oh.
going to change mine too. Okay.
Okay.
Do I
I
get...
got the, do you guys want a group handout for the party funds?
Yes, please.
Please.
Okay. Yeet. I will give that to you guys.
Eat.
Right.
Handouts. Hearty inventory. We'll do that, and you guys can just put everything in there.
I'll put the
Um,
money. I'll put the money in there.
Yeah. Do we want to? Should I just give you guys all access? I'm just going to give you guys all access to
Yeah.
it, and you can figure out who's going to be the
Yeah.
person that actually manages it.
I want to do it right now.
Go for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Put 50 monies.
I will
Uh,
put 50 monies.
Oh, actually, I'm going to put it
We
in.
have 50 whole monies.
Okay, party inventory is going to be the same in the same thing as the. It's going to be under inventory on Roll20. So, with the headband and all that sort of stuff.
Okay. Let's see. I forgot I had cutting words, guys. Next fight.
It's okay.
Oh, I know. Thanks, Chicken Wing. I did like nothing when I was a bard, so you're already doing better than me.
Woo! Learn
Yeah,
it
you
style.
did. You did it inspire, so that was good.
Yeah, I did one inspire, and it got used. How nice.
So yeah, you guys rest for in the tavern and get your sandwiches or lunch or whatever you want. I don't know what Iris is serving right now because she is so busy in the back.
I would like a Philly cheesesteak.
Sure.
Yeah, and Grey Poupon.
If we
Oh,
substitute the meat for hawk in it.
Yeah, birdie cheesesteak. I'm good with that.
Yeah. So yeah, you guys get your lunch, and we're it's probably at this point around 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh, we got time to hunt a troll.
3 o'clock in the afternoon. Yeah.
Oh, do we want to? Can we do a little role playing during this
Sure.
lunch?
Or
Sure.
Okay, so Mel, grouchy
You
as
guys
ever.
get out your dice and.
Oh,
So as we're digging into the birdie cheesesteak, Mel's grouchy as ever. But I think she I don't know, picks out like a crumb or something and just kind of like flicks it in Jules' direction and just like scowls. I had words in my brain and they're gone now. Here we go.
No.
Just gonna dive in. So it's not much of a deterrent to not be a bandit if when you get caught you get a different job out of it.
Well, I don't imagine they're gonna be paid. It's sort of like a community service type
Well,
of
then
thing.
what encourages them to stay and not go back to crime?
I mean, they didn't seem like they wanted to at least Lauren didn't. Plan.
They have time
Literally, they went into it because they did not have coin. If we are giving them a job that does not give them coin, then we are not changing anything.
well, not forever. It's sort of a work off the debt type of deal, and then generally they would continue working for room and board, a paycheck, that sort of thing. It's very common
Would you
everywhere,
rather?
really. I'd rather not cast us as judge, jury, and executioner when they seem remorseful. That's not my job.
yes, we had programs like it back in Glambala, and I know. Well, obviously, my father would put down prisoners as needed. It is far better to be merciful than vengeful.
They'll remember how we treated them, and hopefully treat other people in kind. And if they don't, I would not put it past Mark Dwyer to put them down. But people can learn, people can change, people can be better if given the chance.
People need a change in circumstances to change. They are still in the same spots they were in before.
I don't think that's true. They have people here who can show them a better way. Give them
Yeah, because like the captain said, they want to work alongside people who have kidnapped and killed others.
Not everyone.
Arguably, we have put them in a worse spot than they were in before. And we are just encouraging them to continue to do bad.
I don't think that's true.
I'm with Jules on this one, Mel.
Not everyone is as angry as you all the time. But if you don't ever give anyone else a chance, what are you doing?
Giving chances is fine, but not if it endangers others. And just making the choice for them and just living off of hope and thinking that that's going to change anything.
What would you rather me do? Just slit their throats and leave them for dead? Because those
I'm
were the
not
two
saying
options.
kill them, but if there's no
But
consequence.
that was the only other
That
option.
was the other option.
The only other option.
What would you have done?
Any sort of payment or deterrent for anyone else who's like, oh, I don't have a job. Maybe I'll go kidnap some people because even if I get caught, I'll be given a job and move to a different town. That's not a bad deal.
Or they'll be killed, like the bodies we left out there.
Not all of us make bad choices because we're bad people.
No, just they have bad circumstances.
And we're giving them better ones. They're in a town with kind people who will give them homes and jobs and the chance to be better. And yeah, it's on them to do better, but we've shown them they can be.
I'll hope so.
Next time, speak up if you have a problem.
Literally did. Munch, 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 munch. Sulk, sulk, sulk.
Is Luke still? Is he out, or did he like go into?
I think
So-
Luke is Luke was also eating, and he's like in the corner. He hasn't eaten much. Like he's got a plate of food in front of him, and he's at a table like a couple away from yours. Or actually, no, he's probably sitting at the bar, and he's got just a little bit of food in front of him, and like a drink, and is just kind of like staring into the glass and being very melancholy. Like there is a cloud hanging above his head right now, almost literally. And you just hear from the other room, it says, as Iris goes, "God damn, this thing has so many feathers." And I think that's where we'll end our session for tonight, with just one other visual as we pan away from the quaint little honeybee inn that you're at, and over the forests, and we see far, far in the distance towards the south. You see rubble sticking up from the trees, and one spire coming from a collection of small, squat stone buildings and a large wall of a keep off in the distance, and a singular black vulture or a hawk flying around it counterclockwise. And yeah, so we'll pick up in 2 weeks with the continuation of this their adventure. So thank you everyone for watching. We've got a lot of other great programs and shows that are coming up here in the next couple of weeks. We're kind of a little bit of a midpoint with some of our regularly scheduled programming right now. We will not have our usual match pony or Thursday game next Thursday, but we'll probably have some other video games and stuff between now and then, while a couple of us are doing some adult stuff. If you missed the game here today, it'll be up on YouTube soon-ish. Probably going to be a little bit late on that one, but usually goes about midweek. Hopefully it'll be up Wednesday or Thursday this week, barring any internet issues on our end. As we get set up, we will have I need to ignore the chat. We will have that all up later on. If you can catch up in the meantime, we have our session 0 for this game that we did last Saturday. If you want a better insight in these players, we kind of played around with the fate system and just kind of did some world building. If you like the setting and you want some more of it, want to know a little bit more about Sarthia and some of the other goings on here of our prior campaign, check out Survivors Complex. It's like 63 episodes of it. You can check those all out on YouTube. We will be back, like I said, 2 weeks from today. That'll be the 4th of May. We will have also, I think that next Thursday, the 9th, will be our first session of All Myths Are True, our Monster of the Week game, kicking off around that time. Didn't think of any other games that are currently jumping up right now, but we'll keep you posted on that for some other programming. Cyberscape went up yesterday. Finally got that to load, so you can check that out on Castbox and iTunes. It's our Dungeon World podcast. We just concluded a major arc of the campaign. The next episode will probably be out. We're kind of taking a little bit of a break for the next episode is posting, so that next one I don't think is going to go out till the middle of May. So just bear with us on that. So yeah, I think that's it. Any other announcements? Anything else? Cool. Well, thank you all for watching, and until next time, good game and good night, Internet.
Night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.
Good night, Internet.